G'day, welcome back to this Rogue Tower playthrough. I am still going on this one. I'm to level 37. I'm feeling optimistic that I will get past level 40. So let's see how we go. As always, I'm enhancing my bows. I'm going to upgrade that one. Great. That's exactly what I want to see there. So, for those that haven't watched the other ones, the strategy that I've gone for here is an insane amount of houses to try and make a bit more currency. You can see that they are accounting for 20% of my total income at this point, which is quite hefty. And what I'm trying to do is use my my level upgrades to upgrade my ballistas. So you can see that at this point, the ballistas are hopefully getting the lion's share of that. And I'm using my money to focus up this group of guys and my mines. So at the moment I've got this mine all the way to 25s across the board. This guy is who I'm currently working on, so we'll get him up to 25s. And then I want to do the same for him and him. And then those two guys too. I think sorry for if you've watched the other videos and you've seen all this, but there is a bit of a gap between the videos as well, so I can recap, I suppose. The strategy that I'm really trying to take advantage of here is that while all of these ballistas here are based on most shield, most armor sort of kills, these guys here are purely based on progress, so that they're continuously in the fight shooting at guys as they come past, but it also means that they're going to be of a significant level. You can see there's level 10s and things. They're going to be of a significant level as those guys actually do make it through this side here. Now, so far, it's been a long time since anyone has made it over here, so I am optimistic that we actually might make it to what would be a personal best for me, which would be level 41. Now, these guys have definitely caused me pain in the past, these purple guys. So we'll see how we go here. Mines are doing really good jobs. Really good job at the moment, picking them off. And as long as these guys can build their mines back nice and quick, we might hold out. So maybe what I'll do is I'll just start to upgrade this guy. Because I think at the moment he's more important to be stopping them than this guy here. I think these guys come when to play well before obviously he does. Whereas he might be a bit more of an efficient shipper. There's certainly some slow going at the end of waves here though, when we reach this point. We wait for these very last few slow guys to come through. And then our outreach towers also slow them down. Now, one thing that I still haven't yet got is I'm just curious about this. If I say this, it's +3, so they're already doing 4 shield damage, so that does up them to 7. It's not a +1 on a +2 they've already gained. That's great. Okay, so oh, another ending. Don't mind having these lanes finish off. Now, these guys are getting further than they were before. It's definitely fact at the moment. I'm not too eager, actually, I think, at this point, based on what's happening, to upgrade these two guys yet. I do want to get this guy upgraded, just because he is in that sort of effect. This guy here, maybe, but I think possibly spending more money on these guys could be the next move. Once I've got that guy to his 25s. But again, I think quite frequently I forget that the guys coming this way will get further than the first few waves of guys that are coming the other way. There is certainly some bunching that goes on still. There are a few of these lanes that are about the same length. I suppose that one probably needs to be expanded out a little bit more, or maybe that one does. This guy, I feel like it's going to terminate somewhere in here, surely. Like, it'd be a pretty impressive path if he managed to wiggle his way out. We do have some nice bunching going on here for these guys to work on. It's crazy seeing some of these guys are only... I think he might be my new one. Makes a bit more sense that... Yeah, I would have thought these guys would be a much higher level. That level 18 checks that story a bit more correctly. So I suppose, I don't know how many other guys are doing fire, but if we've got this guy putting out huge fire numbers, I think that's another nice X factor in that damage over time that these guys work their way through. Now we are sitting full health heading into wave 40. I'm quite confident that these few guys here aren't going to bust through and change that. So we could be good here. Wondering if I should build a few more ballistas just on this flat part here, just so that those guys aren't just sort of out there shooting on their own. All right, let's go for these guys again, and let's extend on that guy. Oh, there we go. Here we go, level 40. Get him the 20s across the board. See, there's some nice damage being done here in that corner. As long as we're getting rid of the big guys so that even if they are shooting off those other guys, they've got to go through the entirety of the landmine gauntlet, of the leveled up landmines of those three, sorry. This is going to be absolutely decimating the damage value of my my flamethrowers. Yeah. So the encampments are very low too, which is good, I suppose, because it means we're not using them too much. We can really... They are doing great work here. I mean, the base damage that one of these towers would do with the extra health, shield, armor, crit, slow, poison, it does seem like a compelling case to stack this corner here a bit more with them and make them focus on the heavier guys. Firstly, though, we will get this guy up to 20s. Alright, this does feel like they're pushing through a little bit more than they were. This is probably the heaviest zone of them. But every time even just one mine comes back, they're still not really getting past this line here. And even what is getting there... There we go, so this is the first non-spawn that's really making headway. And that's a lot of mines he's got to work through on this section that are all that high level. There we go, I'd say we can probably consider level 40 beaten. See, there's no one even further back than this. Probably even... I mean, again, I haven't had any range upgrades for the ballistas, but if I did, even in this section here would be a good spot for some. Certainly don't feel like I'm done with spamming ballistas on this one. They are getting a little bit pricey though. Oh, so we're down to 19% income share with our death tax, so I guess the gold we're making from monsters is starting to outweigh it. -3 damage to health. Absolutely. Let's go for another dead end. Those two are going to be pretty close, I think. And if they're not, those two will be pretty close. So these ending is going to sort of cause this to stack a little bit. I wonder if it's just to do with the level. If those start to just end a little bit more, or what. Alright, so there's him to his 20s. Get him to his 20s as well. We'll just bump him to 25s. I would love to know how much damage this individual tower has done. I think he's the top dog. That's a fair few guys pushing through this section. But again, this is the guys coming from here, so that's usually expected. It's usually an indication of how far the furthest guys coming from this side are going to get. Usually. It is nice seeing these guys like fire off and fire their like spawns and them not even make it around this corner. Really nice to see. So looking at his range, he can hit guys in both. So if we were to put guys in a line there, they would certainly be hitting all the way around that. And I'm happy to leave them as progress based. Alright, so who do we want to upgrade now? Let's maybe go these guys, because I think the mines are making good impact. And it's going to haunt me to the day I die, but that's an often even 25. So the Shredder's into 4 million damage, and the Ballistas are into 6 million. And that there is 1, 2 Shredders, 3 Shredders, I suppose, that are even, like, in this battle. It means that this guy here must be just doing absolutely gangbusters. I'm just getting the sense that if I extend anyone, that's going to actually just end their their route. Just like that. Let's just put a few more guys in here. The idea is that they'll do some slowing. I will still get them to go shield and armor. Yeah, these single guys as they come in here just getting absolutely whooped. Thing of beauty. So I could almost sell all of the towers at the back here. These guys not going to stop anything, but what they are doing is they're just generating money, really. See, this guy hadn't laid a hand on anyone. Certainly a long parade of guys coming through. So I guess that as you get, I don't know if 45 is the last level of the game or how it works, if it sort of goes on for a lot longer. I feel like I've seen in a picture somewhere that there was sort of like a congratulations, you're victorious or something. Which does make me think that like 3 waves to go. 1, 2, 3, just sort of like end portals is what'll come next. But I do think making the paths the extreme different lengths has helped. I haven't upgraded that guy there, have I? But if you were sort of making that corner at least. Tesla coils have put up 1,000,000 damage. The mortars are taking names. Alright. We've got a lot of mana, and to gain 4 base damage, or they can gain crit chance, or they can bleed. I mean, that's a nice combination. Let's go the crit chance. And let's just terminate that one. Let's have a look at that. So 15 plus level. So some of these guys will have like 29%, 27% crit chance. It's pretty good. You can see, yeah, this guy's, I guess, leveled himself up twice more in health. So if say this was a is a successful mission, so if I was to say then from this versus the previous ones that I've done, what are the takeaways? Like, what is the keys to success in this game? I think shredders. I think still, even in this particular game, I've underused shredders. I think shredders must be the best best weapon in the game. I do really think it feels like this has been significant, that these guys are here with the intention of sort of guys coming back around, but no one has yet had to use this. Like, this actually hasn't come up at all as a saving point. They've never had to turn around and shoot at someone who's walked through this gap. So I don't think it's as... I think it's extremely valuable as a backup, but it hasn't been key to the success of this one. I do like the idea of ballistas up front, and then having so many ballistas that the benefit that you get on a weekly basis always being the ballistas can be very valuable. I think the kill zone is working quite well, but I guess it's more the diversity of what the different towers are putting on as the damage over times, as opposed to the amount of damage output that they are doing. But I mean, you can see guys really get cut up as they go through that corner. Obviously, using the frost towers at all has been a huge benefit too. Silly of me that I didn't realize I misunderstood what they were from the start. You can see that these houses here have collected $400 sort of dollars, so they've made 4 times their initial sort of placement. I don't know how much of an important strategy this was. I mean, definitely at one point it was more dangerous than anything. But I mean, if you looked at, yeah, 20% of my money has come from that. Does make it sound like it's been worthwhile. I mean, I don't know what's coming at wave 45 there. What's the... You can see the 8,000 sort of poisons that these guys are getting hit with. Thing of beauty. There we go. Finally. Get some range. So now we can see this guy can see way more. But some of these guys are now shooting all the way over there too. So it really means that this whole section here is only looking at basically this tiny portion of road. That obviously something to tower defense is to do with the amount of like area that a guy can see on the road, but this sort of build, if I'd built this in that section there and I just completely filled this with ballistas, it seems like it would have had the same impact, like I said, because this part here actually hasn't been addressed at all. So I think that the fact that the main path hooked back right against this isn't the sort of the success to this strategy, that I'm not going to win another one just because it comes so close. I definitely think that once you get to doing 2 or 3 lanes to your castle, that is going to be like, that would be ideal if you can have the paths sort of cross close to each other, so you can just sort of build one set of defense for everything. But in this, I don't think it was overly important. I think if I just built a section that had a whole bunch of ballistas anywhere, it would have been as effective. And I still could. I could still build a whole bunch of ballistas in this section here. or in this section here. There's even more towers that I haven't even yet tried yet too. Alright, so this is 44, so I guess next wave we'll find out what's coming for us in the last wave. Then I mean, I'm assuming it's the last wave just purely because all of these have terminated. Really nice to have seen these guys do their thing, and you can see that they have upped. It's their armor multiplier that has really gone up significantly too. I mean, they started on about 16, but their focus has just been armor. None of them have been looking at shield, or shield's been their second priority. And based on that, you can see that they definitely have done that. Shield hasn't really ticked up too much for them, even though it's their second priority. I don't know if that just means that they've just not been, there's been enough guys with armor that they haven't ever had to look at them, or what. Yeah, you can see the hits that this guy's doing as they roll through. He's taking names. Very damaged armor for them. Alright, so here we go. That's our big boss, I guess. Big Brain Oogie. He's moving pretty quick. I mean, this guy still looks to be getting a bit of a lead on him. Maybe slowing down a little bit. But he has come from possibly the furthest away of all my gates. So hopefully we will see a majority of guys come through before him. You have a lot of money to spend. I am gonna keep spending it on this one guy. I just hit an achievement there because it's, I guess, my first ever level 50 tower. Making quick work of them at the moment. Really disappointed almost that I didn't get to see these guys in action as something came around the other side. I mean, also happy for it, I suppose. So let's have a look at what this guy does as he shoots through. I mean, you can just see and there's not an explosion in the way, just the actual significant cut down that these guys take in their health as he shoots. It's huge. And again, though, is that because I've chosen to focus this guy, use him as a single focus target, or would I have been better off if I had made that tower and that tower just 3 shredders? Almost the range of their AoE, I suppose, because these guys are only doing AoE sort of in this area. I mean, they are leaving like damage over time abilities on them. The fact that his area of effect is all the way to like what, here, still going. You can see the amount of damage that Big Brain's already taken here. Yeah, he definitely doesn't seem like a threat at this stage. Let's see what sort of... He's already got 33,000 poison. You haven't even reached the party yet. That's right, all these guys on this side are still going to be shooting at him because he's the biggest threat, whereas all these guys are shooting at everyone else passing by. Until he becomes the furthest progress for him. Still a fair few guys upturning this corner though. Does look like these guys actually might get their time to shine. Let's get this guy on a health kick. Still a fair bit coming behind him, but it looks like they'll all be cleared. I don't know what to make of that 10 or the 100,000 poison rolling on this guy. Look at that go. Boom. There we go. So held at 20% the death tax, which is quite good. The encampments, I think, value goes beyond what that sort of damage per second reflects. The shredders, the amount of money that I spent on that guy versus how he still ended up, I think speaks volumes to how effective they really can be. The mortars and the ballistas just did great because they just sort of like were left to their own devices, so that's understandable. The frost keeps I didn't continue to upgrade, so the fact that they actually chipped away 1 million damage in that is amazing to see as well. Okay, so the damage over time I guess doesn't count. So the damage over time of both the ballistas and the Tesla coil, I think a lot of what the Tesla coil was doing would have been damage over time. But there we go, success, which means that the next time that I play this, I'm gonna have to play two corridors. But let's have a look at what we've got here and what possibly bring out next. So we've got, I think I've got everything for the ballistas, do I? Let me double check. Yeah, ballistas are fully upgraded. The mortars have got a little bit more to go, but I suppose it's the shredder. Shredders are the ones that I want to spend the money on. Let's get those sort of guys all the way up there. And then definitely take bleeding as an option for them. Even though my strategy in that one was just to purely focus on the ballistas, I think that there's a strategy I want to try that has a lot more of these guys a lot further forward. That they're going to be the first kill zone, almost them exclusively. Calls in biplane to perform airstrikes from afar. That seems like something we should really investigate. Let's throw our money at it because we've got enough to upgrade the entire thing itself. Let's not worry about anything else. Let's get one at a time, I would say. And probably let's just focus on... Oh no, we're already done out of XP. Oh, well, there we go. We do with the extra gold to start with. Any questions or comments, feel free to chuck them below. But until next time, catch you later. See ya.